Look, see it how you see it, ain't really what it seems. Posted with the hitters, I be scheming with the G's. Then hit the fucking hood, I get busy with the fiends. I ain't never gon' stop, never stop chasing that green. Cause I'm still rocking, still popping, I can't stop it. Talk about it, step on niggas, we had no option. Fuck niggas, keep pushing niggas, always plotting. Come around here, them bodies gon' get the drop in. Gorilla shit, stand my ground like King Kong. I ain't going back and forth with you suckers like ping pong. Fuck the other side, we ain't never gon' get along. You seen your brother die, all you did was write a song. Forever true to the gang, forever numb to the pain. Saying that I'm a target, you better work on your aim. When I top it and knock it, you know that just I'm a bang. Forever Hollywood, ain't nothing gon' never change. Yeah, I'm on. Took a lot of losses, but we strong. So stuck up at the bottom, promise won't take too long. Forever ride my brothers, even if they're right or wrong. Think y'all better 100 deep, but we some soldiers on our own. It get greasy on my side, nigga. Run through the K. Ain't no play, cause you could die, nigga. That's all I gotta say. Hey, when it's time to go, I kick the door and let it spray. I'ma get it hot, get it hot, get it every day. Yeah, I'm on. Niggas really talk about that gunplay. Top snatch a nigga, leave his ass on the runway. Toting fat 40s from Monday to Sunday. BG gon' run it, you know how we coming. Yeah, niggas still up in the hood, and I ain't living good, but still I make a way for Hollywood. They watch what I do, they watch how I move. I ain't gotta say much, cause that shit understood. And nigga, if you smoke up in the air.
Alright, so first off, I'll explain the exterior. Pretty much full aero kit is Origin Labo. I got the drift line 3-piece aero kit, got the under panel kit, 55mm front and rear fenders. The carbon bonnet is also Type 3 Origin. The headlamps are D-Max, and also is the trunk. That's the only, you know, exterior bits that's on this car that's from D-Max. The rest is Origin. Starting off with the engine, it's nothing too crazy. It's 2.1 liter SR20. It's got pistons, rods, you know, dual valve springs, solid lifter head, and it's not an S15 engine. It's actually just an S13 engine that's just built, so it doesn't have the VCT and all that stuff in it. But it is pushing 520 horsepower. So starting off with the turbo side. I'm running a TD06 RX model with 10cm rear housing. The manifold on this one, I don't know if you guys know too much about TD06s, but no one really makes a good manifold that lasts, that's durable. So Third Strike Ben, those guys, yeah, he pretty much made a custom manifold. It's pretty much similar design to a truss manifold. It's just made out of steam pipe, which is way stronger and thicker. So I mean, I thought it was gonna sound similar because the runners are similar, but it sounds way better, way louder, exactly how I want it to sound, so that's good. I got a truss gate on it. So for the hot side, that's pretty much, you know, that's the setup, you know, TD06. The injectors are, I think they're 850 injectors. No, I think they're Bosch top feed injectors. I still run the stock manifold. I never really had the need to run the truss one or any other thing, you know, because I mean, I like response. You know, it's not the most responsive car, but it helps. Every bit helps. Got the SARD fuel pressure regulator. I got the mid-mount intercooler set up. Cut this out, welded here. It's pretty much how it's set up. I don't like running front mount because when you tab and smash into someone, it just ruins your whole day. I got truss oil cooler. Got the GTR fan, truss aluminum radiator. And pretty much engine-wise, you know, nothing really special. I mean, it is pushing 520 horsepower. It's not the fastest car in the world, but, you know, it's pretty fast for an SR. Not so many SRs, you know, make more than 400 horsepower with this type of, like, similar setup. But I like to push the boost, you know, go fast. So a little closer look on the engine setup. So it's got 850cc Bosch injectors, SARD fuel pressure regulator, got the Ignition Projects cold packs, Not too many people know about them, but they're a pretty good brand. A lot of D1 guys use it. Got the RX, you know, TD06 RX Turbo, 10 centimeter housing, custom made manifold by Third Strike. Obviously the truss wastegate, need that truss wastegate for the 6 sound. And that's about it, but it's 2.1 liter SR20. It's not stroker, it's just oversized pistons. Got metal head gasket. Got, I think it was Eagle rods, that's what I put in it. That was years ago. But never blew up. It's been like over 4 years now driving it. Never once had to rebuild this engine yet, so it's kind of a miracle. Never really get it super hot as well. Got the GTR fan, the fan shroud, SR fan shroud, truss radiator, oil cooler up front with the water spray. I don't really need much of the water spray too much. The fan itself keeps the freaking temps like at 90, you know, hottest. Barely ever goes to 100, even when it's kind of hot. So now onto the suspension and the steering, kind of the more important stuff on a drift car. So the suspension, the coilovers are D-Max, D1 spec, 9K springs in the front, 5K springs in the back. The new V3 Naoki knuckles. I got D-Max tension rods. The alignment on this, you know, I kind of don't really align it on the rack, but it's about, I would say the front toe is like 7 or 8 mil toe out on each side. So it's about, I would say about 14 to 16 mil out on both sides. The caster, I don't even know the caster. It used to be all the way in the back, which was about 6. But after putting these Naoki V3 knuckles in, I had Naoki help me set up the car, because I guess apparently when people first put these knuckles on, they have a hard time setting it up because the caster and all the settings are a little bit different to make it work. So he told me you gotta move the caster toward the front of the car instead of the back. The old knuckles, you want to push it all the way in the back as far as you can. That's what made it, you know, feel a lot better. And then this knuckle, apparently you want to push it all the way as much as you can in the front. And you still have the factory position rack. You don't have those like offset rack spacers or any of that, but you just have to put like some welding spacers, not spacers but stoppers. And so like if you can see here, you can see the stoppers on it. You know, these adjust, so pretty much if it binds, you kind of just adjust it out so you make it where it doesn't bind. And yeah, and once it doesn't bind, it's mint. And you know, you can pretty much hit full lock, hold it there, and still steer out of it like real easy. So I mean, I don't really have too much problem with binding issues unless I bend like the LC or anything. But when you have these adjustable stoppers, you do, if you have a bad day and you kind of bend the arm, you just kind of adjust the stopper, and at least you could drive without having to deal with a bunch of bind. So it's not the cleanest car, but it does the job. Kind of got some surface rust on the hubs, even though the hubs are like freaking new. Stupid rain. But yeah, so that's the front setup. The rear anyways, the rear, nothing really special, no wise fab or anything like that. As you can see, I did have D-Max coilovers in the rear of my car before, but Naoki pretty much swears to God that, you know, these crappy tains in the back just give it a little bit more of an aggressive flick. I could say, you know, you could say. I mean, I kind of didn't really tell too much of a difference, but I mean, I did tell a difference with the flick, because with the GT wing, it's kind of hard to like get a huge freaking aggressive snap and like hold it backwards. Like for it to rotate all the way backwards, it kind of like, you have to try a freaking really hard to get the car backwards with the GT wing, especially with these Volino tires. You know, if you have like some crappy Kendas or even like, you know, 08D Volino, it's probably real easy to just get the car backwards even with this freaking wing. But with 08R 265s in the back and the wing, it's a hard time freaking getting the car, you know, to do a freaking backy. So Naoki thinks that with these crappy tains, they're a lot better. I mean, I do agree. I do agree. But yeah, that's the secret. So I used to have D-Max all around, and I still was doing the nasty flick and the backies and holding the angle and all that, but I don't know, like, it's kind of slow, like you could say. Like, you throw the car, and usually when you watch a lot of like aggressive drivers, like especially ones from Mahan, they throw the car and the car's like instantly backwards. But if you look at some of my runs, it's like this freaking wing just like, you know, people say GT wing doesn't do anything, but when you're trying to throw the car that hard with like grippy tires, you'll notice the damn thing, you just stop spinning. So it's like you flick and then usually just, you know, you just go backwards. But the wing, it kind of like, once it gets to this point, it just kind of gets stuck there, and then, you know, I don't know, it's kind of weird, hard to explain, but yeah, the wing does something. So yeah, so the rear alignment, it's practically pretty much right now it's all zero camber, you know, zero toe. I used to run like 2 to 4 mil toe in before, when I used to try and find more grip, but right now, you know, I have more grip than most guys that are driving on the track, so I just leave it at 0. Just gotta adjust the spring rates, you know, just dial in the grip and all that stuff. So right now with 5K in the back, you know, it has a lot of grip. So yeah, nothing really special, nothing I do that's like so secret that nobody else is doing. It's pretty much a similar setup to most guys that drive the tracks I drive, Mahan, Bihoku, Suzuka, Mobata and stuff like that. But I don't know, just maybe some things seem different when watching it, but nothing special. It's just a pretty simple setup, pretty beat up shell. Used to be my missile, actually. This wasn't even my main car before. It used to be a 180. But since I had this spare built engine that I built, I pretty much just threw it in the missile car. This used to be for the hills, this car. That's why it's kind of freaking beat up. And now it's gonna turn into a rental pretty soon. So after my new shell is done with a new engine setup, I was pretty much gonna plan on renting this out, mainly to just dudes that want to drive like comps, like, you know, maybe not D1 lights, because I can't even drive this car in D1 lights because the freaking back end is cut off. But like, you know, D1 divisional, there's a bunch of comps in Japan, and a lot of foreigners want to drive it. So a lot of guys that, you know, do like pro series, you know, in other countries, you know, they could drive this thing, and pretty much it is a competitive car because it's freaking fast. So you guys all seen the videos, you guys seen how it drives, and if you guys are doing any pro series or any other drift comps and want to experience you know, a pretty good setup SR car, try to do some Japanese competition driving, then you can just hit us up on our website. See ya.
Let's go.